So this is the first way to do it, right? Now we're going to go to the question that you brought up, which is the next step, and that is making a more musical melody line. So let's pretend that we're going to take these notes off here. Because what is, anybody tell me what rule that I taught you earlier that we violated with this about what makes a good melody line? Rhythmic writing, same exact rhythm, right? And what was the other one?
Intervals.
And we had the same exact intervals. But this is our very first try, right? So now we're going to do a second try, and we're going to start changing the rhythm, and we're going to change the intervals. But the point of doing it this first way is, especially for some younger students that you're like, oh, I don't know what I would do with it yet. You can just play connect the dots, get your first one, and then you can go back and try changing it. So when we did our first melody, I want to represent it with this little curve. It kind of went up and down like this, and then kind of back up. So if we were going to do an artistic depiction of our melody, it was this little wave. So we're going to make now a different depiction of the melody. So we can do things like shark teeth, like that. We could do a big jump, a big loop-de-loop. It's almost like a little roller coaster. Now we're going to draw, so we're going to draw a different picture. So I need a volunteer that wants to come up and sketch our melody. Let's take you in the red. So you're going to come up and take the melody that I had and help me sketch a new one that's going to drive this other way. So you've already good. Awesome. So help us with this one. What would you do? So see how I could try this. What do you want to see? While he's doing that, I'll just comment so what you're going to do is actually draw kind of a curve up here first, rather than melody. Show me like what you want the melody to do. So I was recently at Disneyland and doing some rides there at family reunion. And Disneyland, if you were to just have roller coasters that always did this all the time, you'd probably get really nauseous and not have very much fun, right? But same thing if it just goes flat, that's not very much fun either. So it's almost like you get to kind of create a roller coaster here when you do this. So you've got down, up, down, down, big jump. Let me erase the earlier one. Okay, cool. And then where's it go over here? Or is that your whole melody? Okay, perfect. So, awesome, you can sit down now. Next. Okay, so he's got a couple dips. I'm going to draw this out as a curve. So what he had was a couple dips, and then a big jump, and then a couple dips, and then he had the same note here. I'm going to go ahead and do just a little sharp tooth up, and then down. Like that, okay? So we have a visual depiction of the melody. So now what happens is to create this, we're going to have to use different kinds of notes. We're not going to be able to do this all with quarter notes. So if I want to go up, down, and then a big jump, I need to fit about 6 notes in there. So I'm going to do them as 8 notes. So let's do A, G, B, A, and then I'll jump to E, C. Now this part is where it gets a little bit more challenging, which is why I showed you that first way first, because how do you know that these notes are going to sound good when you start kind of jumping around? You don't really know. You just have to kind of try them and you say, well, I like that one, or I didn't like that one, so then you change it. But this is why I like this sort of picture method, because it gives you kind of a vague idea about how high you want to jump. You want a big interval, or do you want a little interval? So let's play this new one. The song usually starts like that. Now we have it's a little bit of a different line. So let's see, what jumps out to you you don't like about that line? What would you change? Yeah.
Right. Instead of having them all 8 notes, maybe add some like 16th notes or something like that.
It's like a dotted 8 and a 16. Like that. Yeah, so the old way was the last note to do a different interval. Like that one, or
using articulation.
using some articulation on it, like a staccato, like I said. How about that? Yeah. So let's put some of that in. Okay, so we have here, sorry, some of you probably can't see this real well or staying in the back, but we're going to do this as a dotted eighth now, and this one's the 16th. And then the articulation, we're going to put a little staccato on this. Full staccato. So if you're looking at this sheet, this is your, this is what we call part 4, where it says playback and adjust your melody. This is probably the most advanced part of it, and so it's kind of one of those things that it's why I teach that first way where you can just connect the notes, because then you can kind of decide how much harder you want to make it. Once you connect the notes, you can say, well, let's go up and down a little bit, or let's change some of these to 16th notes, or change them to dotted eighths. But you can kind of decide that and go through it. So, again, going back to where we started from was this. And now, this way we've got so what I'll do is I'll take some of those changes that we did on the very first one, and I'm going to kind of just apply that with the improvisation to the rest of the song. So we have so I kept the same chords there, but I started putting more of those little embellishments on in the melody. And I know this is kind of tricky stuff, but hopefully so you at least kind of get, okay, I can write out my melody, then I can go back and I can start taking my notes, and I can swap out a quarter note for a couple eighths, or swap out 2 eighths for 16ths, things like that. I want to talk a little bit about the left hand stuff that you can do with embellishment, but do you have questions about this right hand, sort of what we did, or do you want to go through one more exercise of this to kind of see how we would do it? Would that help? Yeah? Okay. So let's take somebody else's chords. Who wants to give me your chords? That's you.
Okay, so I got a 1,
1. Okay.
a 6,
Then a what?
a 6,
6.
and then a 3, and then the higher one.
Then a 3. Oh, and then a higher one. Okay, and what did you pick as your anchor notes to start your melody?
Middle C,
Middle C,
E,
E,
B,
B,
and then G.
and then G. Okay. So I'm going to start by filling in the blanks here, just to give us a baseline to work with. Basic thing. And okay, so first version of our song sounds like this. Should I play it up the top? I like it. Good song. All right, so some of you that are a little more confident in what we did the first time, I want to have you come up, maybe a couple teachers or some of the students that feel pretty good on this, and start helping me make some changes to this melody line. A couple changes that you might suggest. Let's be the first one to come up. You want to? Oh. Like an E flat? Nice. Now we've got like a kind of a spooky theme. Well, let's real quick do a couple changes to this melody line specifically first, and then I'll talk about some of these little style ideas. Yeah.
Maybe do like triplets.
Triplets, cool. Where should we do the triplet?
One triplet, two, and.
So one triplet, two, and? Cool. So let's do triplets on this D. So when we think about it on that first measure, if we just do, we can do that. It's kind of like a march, you know. What if we wanted to make the triplet different? What notes could we do instead of just D, 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 D? What would you think?
You could do like D, F, E.
D, F, E? Yeah, that's nice. Cool, let's do that. So we're going to take this, and this is really the trial and error part, because you basically, you know, there's no real rule to tell you how to do this. You just experiment, and when you try something and you don't like it, you experiment with something different, and you just spend that time kind of experimenting. So we've got now so how about the second measure? That's kind of a little more boring because it just walks up the scale. So what could we do there? Make that kind of interesting. You had some ideas, kind of the up and down. What would you suggest on that one? Yeah, like you're saying maybe we can go outside the line. What do you think? If we change the rhythm and go outside the line a little bit?
Maybe after the first note, go down.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to make the 8 notes in a triplet, but do a triplet.
Try another triplet. Let's try it. So down to a D, and then if we're going to do a triplet, we kind of have a choice. We could do a triplet that runs up to the G if we want a kind of sound that kind of leads in, like dum da 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 da, that way, or we could do like dum da 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 da. There's a different little bit of sound. One of them kind of leads in, and the other one is sort of like a little da 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 da. It's more of like an announcement fanfare, and the other one's more of like a glide in. They're both good, but we can try either one. So let's try first the little fanfare. Call it maybe a little trumpet fanfare. Put our triplet on there. So this is, or you could do the other way.
Or I think kicks and giggles with correct failure in the last version.
Like that? I like it. And what you said, like, just for kicks and giggles is the best way, honestly, to just try stuff here. You never know what you get when you just try something outside the box. So, okay. Kind of creates almost this like processional now, I feel like. Let's try it in more of that style. That's kind of where that inspiration from March was actually from. Many of you heard the similarities there. So again, this whole process with the melody is, like I said, the most technical part. But the idea behind this method is it gets you able to at least create something that you start with, so that you realize, okay, well, I can actually make a song even just using some random notes, which kind of gets that motivation to say, well, what else could I do if I started to think outside the box and say, why don't we just jump up? Or your comment earlier about the minor, what if we change it to a minor key? And suddenly it's like, man, that's really interesting. And there's so many different composition rules and things like that, but when you break them is sometimes when you get the most interesting music. So on my album, Piano Preludes, I have a song called Morning Prayer. And one of the more technical rules in composition is you generally avoid open fifths, especially in like choral writing, stuff like that. You're split open, you need to have some sort of harmony. And I created a song based on open fifths. So I basically just kind of like spat in the face of that rule. And this is the song. So it starts like this. So it's traditionally this would be a very unpleasing harmony, but just listen to a little bit of the song here. So a lot of these rules, again, you can break them when you as you start getting comfortable with how they work or what they do, then you get to where you start breaking them, and that helps you to try some independent things. So I want to show you a little bit of the kind of arrangement technique with this, just briefly. So after you've done your melodies and things like that, then what you can start doing with your left hand is some basic arranging styles. The first one of which is to do arpeggios. So that was the very first arranging technique that I learned when I was a piano student. So instead of my C, E, and G here, we'll start with what I believe is called the Alberti bass, if I remember my theory properly. This is a common thing in Mozart writing and other classical composers, the little basic arpeggio. So it just makes it a little bit more fun than just doing it the other way. What you like. There's another way to do the arpeggios, which is to split them across two octaves. That's kind of one of my personal favorites. So you do this A down here, and instead of going to the third, you actually go to the fifth note, and then you go up to the third, like this. So we've now taken our triad and split it out. So A up to E instead of up to C. Pop the C up top. This is how that style